about creating a story, creating engaging stories that connect with people, that people can identify with. They can see themselves in the story. They can feel the pain point. It gets them interested because we are bombarded with messages and sales. And, someone's always trying to put their hand in our pocket and take our money, right? Someone's always trying to incent you to buy something. And so we end up tuning out a lot of messages. We put our walls up, or we automatically want to say no. We ignore marketing messages. But you are a business person. But you are a business person. So if you are ignoring marketing messages when you're out and about shopping or living your life or watching TV or surfing the net, you are ignoring a lot of ads. You have to understand people are going to ignore your ads as well. And so the way that you need to stand out, the way that you need to break through and differentiate yourself is by having a great, strong brand. And that comes from understanding and creating your brand story. So that's what's your identity, your attributes, your values. It's not just your fonts and images and logo, right? That's a part of it, but it's what does your logo say? What do the images say? What kind of message are you trying to convey? Who is it going to land on? And how are you going to get them to come into your business? So I'll just quickly go over these questions and then I'll sort of relay it to my business. So what is branding, the different elements to a brand, how to develop a brand, and the importance of a brand story. So branding is the process of creating a strong positive perception of a company, its products or services in the customer's mind by combining elements such as the logo, the design, the mission, having a consistent theme throughout all of your marketing communication. So again, I am going to encourage all of you guys to follow me on social media because you'll see the branding, you'll see the consistency in the color, the consistency in the messaging, the consistency in the fonts. And that is important. Again, I have many, many years experience in corporate branding from governments to, Fortune 100 companies. So they don't slack, they don't play. Like with McDonald's, you're not going to see one kind of yellow in Dubai and another kind of yellow in New York, right? McDonald's yellow is the same everywhere. Starbucks is the same everywhere. BMW is the same everywhere. Harley Davidson is the same everywhere. It's that strong perception and conveying your values in that way, again, through your messaging and through the images, etc. So for Maptum, for example, that's my company. I'll just quickly tell you. So my branding, I've got a fist. I've got a fist because I'm all about empowerment and freedom, and I want small businesses to market their businesses better so they can get more customers, clients, and cash so that they can invest that money, live off the passive income, and live a freedom lifestyle. So that has nothing to do with marketing, but my values are infused in my brand. So that's the message. Like as soon as you see Maptum, you see a power fist because I want to empower you to have better marketing. The colors that I use, and I'm even wearing right now, the colors that I use in my marketing are blue and orange. Again, very specific. I'm not sure what colors you guys have chosen for your businesses, but it's not a matter of like, oh, I really like pink or I really like brown. It's not about you and what you like. It's about the message that you want to send your consumer. So for me, again, because of my corporate background, I didn't just say, oh, I want to start a business. I like this logo. I'm going to do that. It wasn't like that. I was very strategic about it. What's my message? My message is about empowerment, giving people the proper tools to empower them to market their businesses better. That's why I have the Power Fist. Do I have a call? I'll show you my logo after. I'll get all these things for you guys on my break. But and then under my logo, it's very clear. Remember the first commandment, know thy business and thy business be true. I do video marketing, content marketing. So I do SEO, I do analytics. As a marketing company, I do a lot of things, but that's too much to say, right? In your businesses, the first commandment, when it says know thy business and thy business be true, it has to be concise. So my company, based out of Toronto, even though I'm in Florida right now, my company based in Toronto, it's called Marketing Strategy Solutions. That's it. So it's the name of my company, Maptum, and under it, it says Marketing Strategies and Solutions. So it's very clear. There's no guesswork. When you see my logo, you know exactly what I do. Marketing, strategy, and solutions. How I differentiate myself from my competitors is I mention the words strategy in my logo. I mention the words solution. I'm not trying to compete with your little website design company. I'm not trying to compete with the, videographer, freelancer. I'm about strategy. So that automatically attracts a higher level marketing company or CEO with more sophistication because they know they're looking for strategy. So that's all a part of my branding. I did color psychology before I looked at my brand. I'm like, okay, again, who am I? And I'm very, again, accomplished, blah, blah, blah. I won awards from prestigious universities, but I also have a very colorful, crazy personality, which doesn't really work in corporate, even though, I have all the skills. But so I'm like, well, how am I going to present myself to the market? So I'm like, I'm going to use blue because blue is about trust and establishment and results. Like it's a very, prestigious kind of color. Like red is supposed to stimulate your appetite and get you to buy. Yellow makes you feel all bright and good. Green is usually associated with nature. Brown and grays and blacks are like for insurance, right? So different industries sort of use different colors. So for me in Maptum, I picked the blue to let people know, yes, I'm professional. I get results, blah, blah, blah. But then I also put orange in there on purpose, because again, there's all this marketing psychology to let people know, yeah, I'm also fun. I'm professional. I'll get you great results, but we're going to have a good fun time doing it. I'm not going to be all staunch and serious and wear pearls and like a business jacket with shoulder pads. You're not getting that from me, right? And so that's why it's important to be able to tell your story, all of those things. Your mission statement, again, I want to empower people to have the proper tools to market their business properly so that it can make more money, become more profitable, invest those profits, and live off of the passive income. That is the mission of my company. So whenever I'm marketing, even though we don't say it, it's always like a subtle kind of undercurrent. If you guys have ever heard an AC running or your fridge is a little bit loud, it's kind of that noise that plays in the background that you tune out, but it's there. That's the same thing with branding, right? You have to be able to create a subtle message that conveys many things without saying many things. So that comes across, again, in your color, your packaging, your signage, the way people answer your phone, the way the website looks, all conveys something about your business and will help to attract the right kind of person, right? So from a consumer perspective, 87% of consumers say that consistent branding across all online and offline platforms is important to their experience. And I'll tell you from a psychological perspective, it's because it builds trust. It builds stability. People want to know, even from a psychological perspective, that your website says one thing that's it's called delivering on your brand promise, right? So if you convey that you're this responsible company that's going to get results and you offer support and you really care about people, if you're saying that in your messaging and people go to your website and your website looks like trash, that's not a consistent message, right? If you say all these wonderful things about your business and then they call customer service, but you haven't trained your people and they're rude, or they're very, very formal when your business is casual, or they're very, very casual when your business is formal, that is all a part of branding. So it's the experience that your consumer has with your brand. One way that you can stay consistent in your brand is to actually create something called a brand document that outlines all of the rules so that everybody can follow them. So even if you use something like Canva, which is a graphic design artificial intelligence platform, right? If you say, these are the fonts, we're going to use this font, and this font. This is our main font, this is our supporting font, and this is the font we use on other stuff, right? That way, all of your videos, all of your graphic design banners, all of your flyers, they have a consistent look and feel, just like corporations. Again, you don't see BMW using one kind of font and then a different kind of font somewhere else, right? So once you have a style guide, you are able to give it to any freelancer or use it for yourself. It just keeps you on track. And it lays out all the visual details, messaging, the tone, images that you're allowed to use. This is what high-level corporations do. And it incorporates things like your brand story, recognizable signature, your core color palette, the different types of, your headings might all look one way, your subheadings might all look one way. It's just about having that consistency. And it's important for marketing from a consumer perspective because it builds credibility and reliability and consistency. So here's just a quick example. Maybe I don't know what time it is. I think I want to show you guys a real brand document. But here is some screenshots of one. So, you've got your front cover. It's got, the way the logo is supposed to look. It's got the colors. It has the color code and the color guide so that people aren't using different shades, because there are so many different shades of so many different colors. And if your graphic designer is like, oh, they're using blue, I'm going to pick this blue, and it looks different everywhere, again, it's not a consistent message. But if you have the color codes, they're using the same color codes every time. And the same thing with pictures. So for this particular business, the ACBN, the Afro-Caribbean Business Network Foundation of Canada, they support Black business owners of color in the BIPOC community. And again, research is important because I come from a strict marketing and educational marketing background. So I don't just do things frivolously. Like, everything is based on research. So I think the city of Toronto had done a study on all of 2,500 Black businesses throughout Canada. And they were able to say, okay, well, 34% are professionals, 26% are in the entertainment industry, 12% are, in food and beverage, and another 5% are in this. So what I did with that information, because I was doing the marketing for this company, what I did with that information is I made sure that we used pictures that supported the target audience. Whereas if you don't do that level of marketing research, you might just be, oh, I'm just going to put pictures of Black people. I'm just going to, no, I know that, a certain amount is in health and wellness, a certain amount is in this. So the images that we pick are very purposeful. So again, for your business, I think somebody has honey, somebody has art and jewelry from Afghanistan or whatever. We've got Amin who wants to do HR for different industries. So you're not just going to pick any old random pictures. You might want to focus on the construction industry, healthcare, technology and SaaS, and education. So if those are the four main, and again, remember the 10 commandments, honor thy audience segments in every single way. So if those are the four main industries that you're going after, make sure that those are the images that you're using on social media. Make sure that those are the images that you're using in your video. Make sure that those are the images that you're using on your website. It's all about branding and it's all about messaging. And so your brand document will help you stay on track, make sure people use the logo the right way. They don't turn it to the side or do all sorts of crazy stuff with it, right? One of the companies that I worked for, again, was called Pearson Education. They're located, I don't know where they are in Toronto, but I think they're near Consumers Road in Victoria Park. Anyhow, we were managing the account for a large university in the USA, and they actually had something called the Brand Police. And there's another company in Primerica that's in Canada and the US, and they have Brand Police. So they have people in the company that go online, they search their name, and they look for agents or people who are using their logos incorrectly. They're saying the wrong things, because when you're at that level of marketing, your brand is everything, right? Your reputation is everything. So they actually have something called Brand Police, which is crazy.